All right, welcome to the 2025 film camera collection. This is going to be the setup for and set the standard for all film camera related things of mine for what will be the remainder of 2025. All right, we're going to start with the Canon EOS 1N, a 35mm SLR that is capable of taking EF lenses, and I have a wide array of them, so I can switch them out, change them, doesn't ruin any of the film, which is super clutch. And yeah, the menu system is not too vast, not too complex. I can change ISO if I wish. I can do different modes, continuous shooting, single shooting, double exposure if I wish, has autofocus, has all these things that you will want a 35mm camera to have. And I know it doesn't look like the trendy AE1, and it looks like a DSLR, like a 5D Mark II or a Mark III, but it handles the 35mm film so well. And there's a reason why I take this to most of, like, I'd say 90% of my shoots. It's because it's so versatile in so many different ways. And the 35mm images that it creates is almost incomparable. Switching up gears and going into more of a video format of things, the Canon Auto Zoom 1014 Super 8 camera is my go-to Super 8 camera. I've had several Super 8 cameras, and they've been great, like the 514, the 1018 XLS. I didn't find too much difference between the 1014 and the 1018 XLS. I quickly sold it and flipped my money on that, and that was a good, easy flip. So I stayed with the more kind of cheaper Canon Super 8 camera, not because it looks cheaper, it just, if something were to happen to this particular camera, the fix wouldn't be as much as maybe the 1018 or the 1014 XLS, and so that's just a bigger and bulkier body. And I've actually just saw the 814, and that was interesting. The price of that is comparable to the XLS 1014, but I digress. This is my go-to Super 8 for many reasons. It has different features. I can do one frame if I want. That's kind of like a photo. I can do slow motion if I wish, and just different variations of features here that I can use if I wish. Super easy to load in and load out. Has the auto zoom, and I can flip it into manual mode. The focus is pretty easy to use. Of course, with these, you are kind of gauging distance between you and your subject. So you don't want them to be out of focus. It takes AA batteries. It's really easy to use this. And I take this to a lot of weddings as well. Most clients, or not most clients, but some clients wish to have this as like an a la carte option, and I'm able to capture their special day on Super 8 as well. Not the majority of the day. When it comes to the evening and the reception, I have to use artificial light. I really like 500T, 200T, and 50D. This is my Super 8 camera that I can't live without, really. For film on the Super 8, I've tried places like Super 8mm. They're out in California. Another good place is CineLab up in Boston or Maryland. And they've been good, but I've really wanted to try out a new place called Negativland, and they're in New York City. Maybe not that results could be better, but maybe customer service could be better, and they could be more of a help and assistance in my Super 8 journey, and maybe turnaround is just different. And they had a lot of options regarding results, like not just the log footage, but the kind of overscans. So I found those can be kind of intriguing to check out and experiment with. So again, not going into full detail, and I can go into more detailed kind of videos. This is very surface level of this venture with these cameras. Continuing with film video, the Bolex RX4 16mm camera. I got this primarily because I ordered 2 rolls from B&H and I couldn't return those 2 rolls, and they were 100mm spools. I believe both were Kodak Vision 250D, like I wrote onto the camera right here. I'm actually done with the roll that's currently inside of it, and I need to take it out and get it sent off. So I kind of wish to do that this week and start getting the results back maybe like later next week or in 2 weeks or so. Very new to this camera, new to the 16mm world of things. Did a lot of research, which was good, but I want to explore more and just learn so much more what 16mm can offer. This has like a runtime of 30 seconds when fully wound up. Again, all mechanical, no electronic parts to it, which is pretty nice. Unlike most of these cameras here, require some form of battery or something, and so things can fail. But with this, I just wind it up and let it roll. And so I'm excited to explore more of the 16mm world. A trusty 120mm film camera, this Zenza Bronica, which is a 6x4.5. A trusty 645 medium format camera that I've had for a few years now. It's actually been collecting a little bit of dust as I've been reviewing other Zenza Bronicas that I have in the inventory that I kind of want to part with. But yeah, this 645 Zenza Bronica is like the poor man's Hasselblad or Mamiya, and it's good. The build size is perfect for what I need. I could even like downsize it a little bit and just take this on my travels, and the weight of it is like I can take with me consistently, and I can still shoot. I've actually got some film in here, so I don't really want to shoot that. But yes, this has been a fantastic 120mm film camera that I've held on to, and I've held on to dearly as well, because it's hard to carry something as bulky as this RZ67 around when the size difference is immense. And yes, you're getting more photo from this, but from this you can get more photos. You can take more photos with this, and it's just easier to travel with and load up. If I'm in the studio, I'll probably lean to the 6x7 kind of cameras, but if I'm going out and about and I have a week or two where I'm away, I'm probably going to lean on taking the Zenza Bronica 645 just because of the size difference and the weight. That's a lot of weight to be carrying. I've done hikes where I've carried that with me, and I've done long walks, and it's not cumbersome at all. So that's a camera that I don't really wish to part with, and I'll continue to use for a very long time. Now, two very similar film cameras will be the Contax G2 and the Contax G1. The difference, not too much, and I'm actually doing a little bit more research as to not what may be better, but for the price, you're getting this for about $500 with a lens, and this is going to cost you about $2,000 with a lens. Huge difference, about 1/4 of the price. And is it that much better than the predecessor and the little brother, the G1? I'll be doing a whole video about that, but I've used these a lot and I love them. They're great. I had to be parted with the G2 for a while because of repairs, and the cost of that repair was about $700, $800, and I just didn't find it to be worth it. That was a hefty price to fix a G2, something that I just wasn't carrying around consistently on an everyday basis. Both of them are 35mm cameras. They read the hex codes of the film that you put in, which is really nice. I really like the just quality of them, the body itself, and the autofocus features are nice. These are solid cameras, but for $2,000 for one 35mm film camera, that's kind of steep. when quality, you can get better quality from these medium format cameras. You might not get as the 35 usability of things, but it's tough to justify a $2,000 film camera, especially when you got like Leica breathing down its neck. So that's the G1, G2. I carry these a lot inconsistently. Take them to several shoots, and they're very easy to shoot with and very reliable point shoot-esque 35mm film cameras. Now, last are two film cameras that are kind of, I wouldn't say the go-tos or the grabs that I'm going to consistently be making. This is a very standard rotational 35mm point and shoot film camera. Little features on it, and it's just a fun kind of like every EDC kind of film camera to take with me consistently. Easy to travel with, it's fun. These are cool little photos. Something that I would probably take on a short walk with friends, or on a little afternoon with friends, or a hangout with friends. I'm probably not going to take a majority of this to just hang out with friends, but I could take this Pentax, which I say rotational because I could be flipping through like an Olympus, or I could be flipping through Canon Sure Shots or things like that. I try to only hold on to like one point and shoot film camera and just kind of like just sell this and move on and have fun with another one. And then this is a quote unquote fun-esque kind of camera, the Bessa L with the Voigtlander lens. It's just quality. I need to do some cleaning on some of these, but I enjoy this because no viewfinder. This was, I believe, a TT Artisan kind of viewfinder for a 28mm perspective. Yeah, 28mm. And you just kind of see it, kind of get an idea of what that framing and composite the photo, not composure, but to composite the photo to preferred liking, because when getting it originally, there is no viewfinder. So you kind of just would have to shoot like this, which is not the most ideal way of capturing a photo. It does have like a built-in light meter, which is actually really good from my experience. And so that helps. And speaking of light meters, I always carry this one. It's more like my EDC light meter by TT Artisan. It's just like a cold shoe, just one to put, and I kind of just push a button and then I get kind of like a desired result. So yeah, that is my film camera setup. These cases from Kodak, very easy to travel with. But yeah, those are my film cameras for what will be 2025. I know we're kind of almost halfway into 2025 and I've just now filmed this, but the additions of the Mamiya RZ67 and the 16mm to the lineup kind of changed things up a little bit. I pretty much started filming this back in January, but then also my G2 got fixed in the middle of February. So yeah, a lot being done, and I can't wait to dive more into these particular cameras because there's so much more to explore, and even different film cameras. So I'll catch you around, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any comments that what you want to see more of, feel free to share. And yeah, excited to kind of share more of this film journey.